Do you ever just play a game and mid-game realize, holy, I need to get a job? Hi, that was me literally days ago. I was replaying PVZ before Replanted came out when I was enlightened with the realization that I am indeed unemployed. So that got me wondering, which zombies actually had a job? Who was a productive member of society? Take a look at the regular zombie. Most of us can relate to him. Unemployed, broke, kinda smelly. Whereas the ladder zombie clearly had something more going for him. But how do we know this? We will need a criteria to help us decide who had a job. Of course, this is a subjective video, so please put your pitchforks down if you have a different opinion to mine. The first part is all about their appearance, what they wear and what they have on them. The default zombie has a suit, yes, but there's nothing more about him that directly suggests he had a job. Whereas the ladder zombie clearly has the tools and the drip of a builder. However, sometimes appearance alone isn't enough, which leads us to the next part, the description. This will help us get more information into the zombie, potentially the background. For example, the conehead zombie, we could say he was a builder, until you realize the wiki said he just picked the cone off the floor. Now the next part of the criteria is the time period. You see, there's a problem with the definition of a job. It requires you to get paid, but that's kind of unfair for the hunters and gatherers of the past, since they technically had a job. Now that we've created the criteria, we can finally begin this video. I'll leave two counters in the corner, one for the amount of zombies that were employed and one for the amount of jobs, since some zombies will have overlapping jobs. Alright then, let's begin. Unemployed, unemployed with a cone, unemployed with a bucket, sheen worker. Okay, so this will get boring quickly if I list every zombie. So from now on, I'll only list the employed zombies and any other key ones. The pole zombie was definitely part of the Olympics because I'm gonna be so real, I don't think I've ever seen someone doing this as just a hobby. He or she, they also have the clothes built for the Olympics. The American football zombie is next, and he definitely played at a high level. I mean, just look at all his Hey! Pitchforks down. I know the game says he doesn't know what football is, but the ending song says he used to play football, so I'm gonna go with that. Screen door zombie probably just picked up the door of somewhere since he doesn't have anything else going for him regarding clothes, and the newspaper zombie is pretty much retired. Next up, Michael Jackson. Need I say more? Along with him is the 4 extra backup dancers that he has, which, you know, obviously all employed. Personally, I'm gonna count this as a separate job since there's a difference between the main dancer and a backup dancer. The next zombie is a hard one, the snorkel zombie. At first, I thought he might have a job because he's got all the clothing, but then he has floaties, which doesn't make sense if you're like a professional swimmer or professional diver. It also doesn't give us much to work with. It just tells us he was peer pressured into wearing the snorkel, which I think this just justifies that he's not a professional. The next zombie is the Zomboni, and I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. He's got the equipment, he's got the clothing, and the description actually tells us what company he worked for. Of course, he also has a bobsled team that comes right after him, so all 4 of those will be counted as employed. Jack in the Box zombie was just a psycho. Unless you think he was a performer, then yeah, sure. The miner zombie, the digger zombie clearly had a job. This one's pretty self-explanatory as well. Definitely played Minecraft in his spare time. Now for my personal favorite zombie, the ladder zombie. He's the closest zombie we have to a builder, something tied to my Eastern European blood. And fun fact, He got his ladder for only $8.99, which is a steal. And trust me, I'm Romanian. I know all about stealing. Next is the fisherman zombie, and this can go both ways. It's a pretty common hobby among men, but it's also a pretty common job in several places around the world. Unfortunately, there's not much information about him, so we'll have to do some interpretation. In my opinion, he did this as a job, mainly because of all the different fishing tools he used in-game. Similarly, the target zombie also has little information about them, but for this one, I don't think he had a job, mainly because there's just not much to go off besides the target. Next up is the Giga football zombie, and just like the regular football zombie, he was definitely employed. Of course, the job counter won't go up though, because they're both footballers. At first, the baseball zombie could be just a fan, until you realize he has the shoes of a player, and since we counted the football zombie as employed, we should count him too. The baseball catapult zombie could be his trainer, and I'll count this catapult as the only one employed since the other ones are just throwing random things. Marshall zombie is self-explanatory, it's in the name, it's in his drip. Towers leader, same thing, in his name, in his drip. Next up is the oil truck zombie along with his 4 teammates. This one's again pretty self-explanatory. Hey, what's that in the background? Oh hey look, it's another builder and another miner. We got another warrior type zombie from the armor and the weapon. As much as I wanted to count the assassin as having a job, unfortunately it's not classed as a legitimate job, so that's kind of disappointing. We have yet another football zombie repeat, but this time he has a coach. The DJ zombie is next, and originally this was called the Mad Hatter zombie, which is why he doesn't have any DJ equipment. And based on that, I don't think he should count. I mean, he doesn't look like he's doing any DJing, it's just his name. Mall Cop is pretty self-explanatory. His job is to make sure that I ain't stealing from the store. At first, I thought the gas can zombie was not employed, but then I saw the name tag, and even though he's breaking a lot of the rules, he's still employed. The Congo leader along with the 4 Congo dancers, again, clearly had jobs. We counted the dancer zombie in Plants vs Zombies 1, so this one should count too. Holy, we finally reached Plants vs Zombies 2, and to start off, we'll start with the 2 explorer zombies. Obviously both had a job. I mean, considering this is the past, look at Christopher Columbus, he got paid to go around the world doing nothing. The camel zombies could either have the job of painting or the job of performing, so for that I'll count it as them being employed. All 6 of them. The last zombie in ancient Egypt is the pharaoh zombie. Obviously it was the pharaoh, he was the big boss, so +1 job. Hold on 1 second. Was being a pirate a job? No. In the past. Oh, we'll count it. Well, in total, there's 11 zombie pirates, excluding the imp and the imp cannon, and obviously the pirate. And the pirate captain counts as his own, because he's the captain. Okay, here we go again. Was being a cowboy a job in the past? Yes. Alright, there's 10 cowboy zombies, excluding the bull zombies, the imp, and I forgot to mention we're never gonna count Zombot in this. And obviously the chicken isn't counted. However, there is another job, and that's the pianist zombie, so big W. In Frostbite Caves, the only zombie that could have had a job is the hunter zombie. Since, well, you know, it's kinda in his name, kinda in what he's doing. He's hunting for food. In the distant past, being an adventurer means you're either a mercenary or an explorer, and in the Lost City there's 4 zombies that are classed as adventurer zombies, and they clearly have the backpack and the drip. The excavator zombie could just be another digger zombie, digging for loot. The relic hunter zombie is obviously a zombie looking for artifacts, you'll probably resell them, especially if they're valuable. The importer doesn't count because I don't count child labor. Lost Pilot zombie is probably how all the zombies got here. Commercial flight. The porter being a gargantua is fitting since you need the muscles to carry all that luggage, so that's another job added. Next up, we make our way to the far future, where there isn't that many. The Discotron is piloted by 2 imps, so it doesn't count, but the 4 jetpack zombies that it summons do count. Last one for this area is the Mecha Football Zombie, where apparently he's past his prime, but he can get back into the game because of the machine. Moving on to Dark Ages, there's a Night Zombie, pretty self-explanatory, but the Dark Ages Gargantua could also be a Knight, so that's 2. Obviously the Jester's probably the most employed here for the entertainment industry, since if he messes up, let's just say he'll disappear. And last for this area is obviously the king that controls the land and the castle. The next 3 worlds don't really have anyone that's employed, besides the fisherman zombie. And then of course we make it back to modern day where there's another football zombie. Trust me, you're gonna get tired of these guys. Alright, moving on to the next world. There's 2 parts of this world. There's the ancient Rome part and there's the corporation part. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Anyway, starting off with the centurion zombie. A centurion is someone who leads an army, and you can see this by the way he's dressed. He's clearly a captain. Sticking with the theme of fighting, the next zombie is the gladiator gargantua, and this one again self-explanatory in the name. Okay, the healer zombie is the most fantasy zombie yet, and I'll count him as having a job because, you know, he could have just been a doctor that just got magic powers. Next up is the Z-Corpion zombie? How the hell do you say that? Anyway, this one doesn't count, even though it's clearly used for building. There's an imp driving it, so, you know, I stand by my morals. Same with Julius Caesar of this world, it's an imp, we don't count it, because I am against child labor. Okay, there are 4 new hires, 3 contractors, a consultant, a help desk. Honestly, the chair racer shouldn't count. Somehow he has a job. He somehow one-ups me. And which one is the imp? Well, I guess for this scenario, we'll count both. Alright, we'll go through the next part quickly since most of them are just going to be duplicate. This is because it's all the festival events from Plants vs Zombies 2. Starting off, we have another piano zombie. We have more camel zombies. We have a magician zombie. We have a fire breather zombie, which is in line with the magician, they work together. We have a New Year camel zombie, we have a spring camel zombie, we have a birthday jester. To counter the other sports, we'll count this sport as well. We have the lawn ball buckethead and the lawn ball gargantua. The Zamboni returns with another Zamboni bobsled team. Yet another football zombie. Okay, China has their own exclusive world called the Kung Fu world, where we can see a hammer zombie, which definitely was the one that made all the tools for everyone. We have a gong zombie, sorry if I mispronounced that, which probably alerted or participated in festivals. I'm not even gonna try pronounce this, but yeah, he had a job. There's 5 monks here, and I'm gonna count all the gargantuas as being warriors of some sort. Dark Ages, China has a cavalry zombie, yet another warrior to add to the list. The new world, this one with 4 new pilots, a lightning gun zombie, which is most likely just a soldier, a transport boat, and a warplane. In the Lost City, they have a lost doctor and a lost guide zombie. Again, self-explanatory in the name and how they look like. In modern day, for them, the digger zombie returns again, along with the new zombie, the riot police zombie. Oh boy, I need to resist the urge to make a joke, otherwise my social credit will tank. China has yet another new world, the Steam Age world, this time with 4 labor zombies. And it's in the name, they're labor, it may be forced to be honest. They also have a coal miner zombie, a furnace zombie, and a 4-man gargantua. There's a ballerina zombie that performed for royalty. There's 4 samurai zombies, which obviously all employed, all part of the army. There's also a fireworks zombie. Unfortunately, I don't think this one counts since I don't think he's making the fireworks, he's just holding them. nothing in the description says he makes them either. And there's also a Shogun Gargantua, again part of the army. And lastly, there's a Sushi Chef zombie. The Cavalry zombie returns along with another guard zombie, the Gargantua guard. So, I mean, Parkour Party has 5 security guards. The security imp doesn't count, obviously. Apparently there's 3 elite versions of these zombies that we counted before, so we'll just add these 3 to the employed category. Next up, yet another China exclusive. We have 4 sergeant zombies, obviously all employed, they're all sergeants. We have another cavalry zombie, we have an archer zombie. The shield zombie I don't think I'll class as employed, we can't see behind him if he's wearing any armor. The drunk zombie, even though he's drunk, he's clearly some sort of important figure, maybe like a leader of some sort. Back to the pirates, we got a pistol zombie pirate and a torch juggler zombie, which this one classes as his own job since he is entertainment based. In the far future, we have a new zombie, the harvester zombie, responsible for harvesting crops, clearly a farmer. I'm only gonna count this as 1, I see the imp there, trust me, that imp is not working, I swear. And finally, we reach the Garden Warfare games. This should be pretty simple since all the zombies have their job listed, because that's what they're made for this game. Starting off, there's 8 soldier zombies, 8 engineer zombies, 10 scientist zombies, and 8 all-star zombies. In Garden Warfare 2, there's 10 soldiers, 10 engineers, 10 scientists, 10 all-stars. Whew, that leaves us with a total of 97 different jobs and a total of 266 different zombies employed. However, of course this was all my opinion and how I decide to count them. I obviously included duplicate zombies, which some people might say are the same, and that would drastically lower the number of zombies employed if we removed them. Then there's also the different opinions on what's even a job or what's a hobby. Overall, this list could be a lot different depending on your interpretation and your way of counting the zombies. There's still many more zombies from spin-off games that I haven't included, mainly because I'm so unfamiliar with these games and it'll be too much for a first video. But hey, let me know if you guys want a second part. If you enjoyed this video or my questionable humor, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.